Have you seen this kind of playing? The finger lifting is far too high to have a technique that seems to be effortless. How can you address that? Well, the answer to that question could be very simple. Just don't lift your fingers too high. How can you achieve that? I will show you an exercise which I do with my students in the first year. This is just a left-hand exercise and can train the sensibility of the left hand or the fretted hand while fretting the strings in order to just use the finger that actually is needed. What to do? Put your 4 fingers on 4th, 3rd, 2nd and 1st string, 1, 2, 3, 4, and then do something that I call to my little students magic tones. So just press with 1 finger in order to have that very, very light tone. Doing this exercise, you just have to keep in mind that your finger will never leave the string when relaxing. Now, relaxing is relative because opening your hand in this way, the hand is not really relaxed because you have to put some tension in, otherwise the hand goes like this. This is a position that permits to me to put the fingers on the strings in that way, and this is the relaxed hand. So a bit of tension is in there. But anyway, 5th position, then press the 1st finger and release. The tension of the string will put your finger up. Never leave it with the 1st finger. Second point to observe is what do the other 3 fingers? They should not press in the same way, well, they should not press actually, just keep in touch with the strings and not what the 1st finger in this case does. You probably will notice that there is a certain tendency of the adjacent finger to do the same movement. You don't have to contrast that, but allow the finger to keep as much as relaxed as possible. Then pass to the 2nd finger and do the same. Third finger. 4th finger. The result is not a loud tone. You just have to get in contact from the string to the fret. That's all. And we have that very tiny sound that I call the magic tone. Now, that's the first thing you can do in order to just do what you need to play the string. By the way, check your shoulders, check your spine, check your seating positions every time that you do such kind of exercises. Next step would be to play it with the right hand. Observing the very same thing in the left hand. It's not the nicest of music, obviously, as in all exercises that are purely technical. But if you can do this, you get used your fingers to keep being on the string, which is the nearest position that you can have. Next step would obviously be to lift the finger, but lift it just that 2 millimeters, that 1 millimeter, that distance that you need in order to let the string free. And you can play that as well with the right hand, doing it like this. Here now, there is to avoid a tendency to exaggerate the movement. If you like, you can do a step in between, playing the note, plopping it, and lifting. Keep on checking your spine, your shoulders, all your playing position, and what do the fingers that are not directly involved. Do that with each finger for a while, and you have the first grade of study for not lifting too much your fingers. A second exercise can be used as a warm-up exercise as well. I call that the 1, 2, 3, 4 exercise, because actually I play 1, 2, 3, 4 on each string. The aim is, when focusing on not lifting too much the fingers from the string, when you play 1, make sure that the other fingers are not exaggerated in the distance to the string, but right over the string, that 2, 3, 4 millimeters you're comfortable with, but not that 5 centimeters or even 10. Just as in the first exercise, make sure that the finger that actually plays the note is the only one to have a playing tension. The other ones should be as relaxed, or better, as less in tension as necessary. No, as less as possible, and the much that is necessary to keep the position. So find your compromise. Now, this 1, 2, 3, 4 exercise can be varied in many ways. In all, we have 24 different patterns. So if I begin with finger 1, I follow finger 2. Now my possibilities are 2. I can play 3 and 4, or I could play 4 and 3. So I have 2 possibilities when starting with 1 and 2. And I have other 2 possibilities when starting with 1 and 3. I could play 2, 4 in following, or 4, 2. When I play 1, 4 first, I can follow up with 2, 3, or with 3, 2. If that's confusing, just download the PDF from my Dropbox. Now you could actually vary again that exercise by playing pickups. Here you get some musicality in it, which sets your mind on a musical item to play 3/8 note or 16th note as a pickup, and then the downbeat with the 4th finger in this case. There is a clear accent in my right hand. Doing this, you anyway should focus on not lifting too much the fingers, because that's our aim in this very moment. That's a very, very good exercise for warming up. You can put the pickup wherever you want. Just 1/16 pickup, 2, 3. That's all that you can do. So you can vary this exercise in many ways. Exercise this technique of not lifting too much the fingers with something more musical. And for that we have our good old friend Francisco Tarrega, who wrote a very, very nice exercise with is quite chromatical as these exercise 1, 2, 3, 4 is. Let me play this briefly to you. At that point, there could be a repetition. Now you see a half step, another one, another one, another one, and another one. Fortunately, the most difficult half step that we can play is between the 4th and the 3rd finger, and this occurs very often in this exercise. But actually there are all the half steps that you could possibly get with your 4 fingers in this exercise. So that's very nice to play. There is one technical issue in here that has to be considered apart, because there are two different possibilities in fingering. It's at this point when you go down. Now, in this point, you can play a position change. This is what I do. Or you can play actually, some editions of that exercise show those extensions of the hand. I don't like that very much because I have a direct string change with the first finger in here, and that's not too fluent to my opinion. So a position change which allows to change from first to second finger is more fluent, and I don't have to extend my hand. And the extension would be another difficulty when we try to avoid an exaggerated lifting of the fingers. So my suggestion would be play the position changes and not the extension of the hand. So that's it. Last thing that you can do with this exercise is, if you have played it once and there is the repetition, just change your position. Obviously, there are other musical possibilities how to play that exercise, but if we go technically speaking and observe if there are other fingers than the playing one that are in tension, and if there is an exaggerated lifting of any finger that's not playing. Okay, have fun with that. If you like the video, leave me the thumb up, subscribe to the channel, download the music and the exercises, and we'll see you next time. Bye.